All right, Shalom. All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honors to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Zion back again with another edition of GMS News and Prophecy. And as you can see here, this is from Yahoo Finance, all right, or finance.yahoo.com, and as a headline, Bank of America CEO, we want a cashless society. Okay, let me read that again. It says, Bank of America CEO, we want a cashless society. Okay, now the previous video I did was also dealing with this cashless society eventually coming to fruition. All right, dealing with the mark of the beast, and this is the same thing. All right, because we here at Great Millstone, we believe that the mark of the beast is the RFID microchip that's soon to be made mandatory. You know, it's already out there, it's already being used, and people are already using it for buying and selling. Okay. But now, you know, it seems really at this point, you know, at least from what I see in the spirit, it's like from week to week, you're beginning to see a kind of like a update, and then pushing out different articles and different news reports on pushing this cashless society forward, and the technology of, you know, biometrics and RFID microchipping forward. Now, the fact, the last video I did was dealing with Facebook. Okay, Facebook wants to create a new digital currency known as the Libra, and is to be a global currency. Okay, so now you have this guy, the CEO of Bank of America, saying that we want a cashless society. Okay, and this all ties into Revelation, the 13th chapter. Okay, now a lot of Israelites out there, you know, they don't believe that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast, but more and more of news reports are pointing to that prophecy being fulfilled in this technology. Okay, all right, and when you go into the Greek and root words of the word mark in that book, in that chapter, it says charagma. Okay, so before I continue forward, let me get that. All right, so let's go to the My Sword Bible, and let's go into the words there. So let's go to Revelation 13. We always bring this out, and you know, these are things that we all know. All right, but it's just important to understand the root of these words and what the scriptures were saying, not just because it's written there in English, but what was actually being talked about and spoken about when this vision was written down. Okay, all right. So this is Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, so this mark here, all right, let's see what this says, right, to receive or to give them. Okay, so this system is going to give, you know, people from all walks of life, all statuses of life, this mark. Okay, so let's see what the word mark is. All right, and we're going into this a lot. So this is word mark. which is charagma, right? Which is a stamp, an imprinted mark. When you imprint something, you have to like engrave it, okay? Which is the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand is the badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah. The mark branded upon horses, right? Because when you brand a horse, you have to actually imprint a hot brand, so so anybody that comes across that particular horse understands that horse is your property, because it's going to have your symbol, okay? The signature of your business if you're selling horses, okay? So right here, right, it says thing carved, sculpture, graven work, all right, of a dollar is just images, because that's an example of in sculpting something or graving something is cutting, using a cutting tool to actually make a shape out of a stone or a piece of gold or silver, right? Now, when you go down to the Strong's definition, it says it's a scratch or etching, okay? Now, what do you scratch or etch something with? A needle. You scratch or etch something with a sharp point, a needle, okay? So that's what's going to be used to implant this microchip, okay? All right. If you ever seen a microchip being implanted under the skin, it cuts and etches and scratches the surface of the skin to actually go into the skin, all right, through that needle to insert the actual microchip under the hand, into your hand, okay? So that's what the mark is talking about. It's not talking about an embargo. It's not talking about Christianity or what's in your mind. It's talking about an actual physical thing, okay? And this society is gearing up to actually have that mark to be used for payments, buying and selling. So when you go into Revelation 13, okay, Revelation 13 and 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, right? So you won't be able to buy or sell. Knowing a philosophy, knowing Christianity has nothing to do with buying or selling, okay? All right? Buying and selling has nothing to do with just embargoes, because it's one thing to if you don't deal with this particular currency, that's going on now with this U.S.-China trade war. But when you read this, the prophecy, it's talking about people, okay? Because when you look up that word "all" in the Greek, okay, it speaks about individuals. So let me get the word "all," and he calls it "all" in the Greek, which is G3956. It's talking about individually. Okay? Pais or pas. Individually. So it's talking about individual people. Okay? Each, everyone. Collectively. Some of all types. Alright? So it's talking about people that may be rich, that may be poor, getting this implant. Okay? You really can't break it down no more simpler than that. All right? After going into the language. So what is Bank of America trying to do? They want a cashless society. Okay? All right. All right. Now, so what I want to do is I want to get into this article. And it's not a real long article. It's pretty short. But it says, Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan embraced the digital money movement on Wednesday, saying his firm has more to gain than anybody from the booming trend of non-cash transactions. All right. 1 second. All right. So now it says, we want a cashless society. Moynihan, who heads up the second largest U.S. bank, told attendees at Fortune's Brainstorm Finance Conference. Okay, so this is what they want to do. All right, they they want to bring in this cashless society because basically it's a lot more convenient for you to just use your debit or credit card and make your transactions, or use your mobile phone or your smartphone technology to pay for things, buying and selling, as the scripture says, right? And they're already testing it out overseas in Sweden and other parts of Europe. Okay. Well, even here in America with the 3 Square Market in Wisconsin. Okay, so this is the beast that's spoken about in Revelation 13, which is the governmental system set up by Esau. All right, the so-called white man, the international bankers. Okay, to push their New World Order. And the key to tie everybody all into it is going to be the mark, which is the microchip implant. Okay? Because all you have to do is make what? A digital currency. And that'll do away with cash. And that's what Facebook is talking about. Okay? Creating a new global financial system based off of what they want to propose as the Libra. Okay? And then Facebook already has access to all your personal information. So once they get into this digital currency, and with the banks behind them, such as Bank of America, then it's a done deal. Okay, so like I said, all you other Israelite groups that aren't pushing that the microchip implant is the mark of the beast, okay, then the Heavenly Father is not dealing with you. Okay, because you have to have 100% truth and understanding of what's going on according to prophecy in the scriptures. All right, and this is what we're seeing happening, creating a cashless society. Okay, so now it says he pointed out that more than half of all money transactions are already processed electronically with the rise of cryptocurrencies and payment systems like PayPal, Zelle, and digital wallets. A 2018 San Francisco Federal Reserve report found that cash continues to be the most frequently used payment instrument, representing 30% of all transactions and 55% of transactions under $10. All right, so it's basically being phased out. Okay, it was a report back in Canada where basically they had phased out their smaller denominations. Okay, now here, dealing with the Federal Reserve note, it's only being used for cash transactions under $10. So eventually this cash dollar bill is going to be phased out. Okay? That's the plan. It says still, the combination of cryptocurrencies, cashless payments, and electronic wallets like Google Pay and Apple Pay are slowly eroding the need for hard currency. Okay? There's no need for hard currency. So if you out there teaching, all right, that the mark is the money that's imprinted through the printing press and the minting system, okay, they're doing away with the hard money, cash and coins, okay, because the true mark of the beast is going to be on this microchip implant through digital currency, okay. Yeah, in the ancient world they use different coins and notes and whatnot, but now in this new technological society, they're going to use digital currency, okay. So it says here, it says in particular, consumers have adopted mobile banking more widely and use debit cards with increasing regularity, right? And I just say this, I went to Walmart the other day, and if you go to like Walmart, if you go to self-checkout, at least the Walmart's down here in Atlanta or whatever, okay, it's maybe more widespread around America, but if you go to self-checkout, they'll have a store clerk or store associate there, and before you get to the machine, they'll say, these machines are card only, okay? Card only machines. There's no, they're not taking any cash, and they're not giving any cash back, okay? And probably because this store Walmart is probably ordering only so many actual dollar bills into the store, so that they don't have enough for you to, however it goes. But basically, even Walmart is getting you used to just using your card, okay? Or these are card only machines, and then when you go up to touch the screen, to pay for your items, it'll prompt you before you start actually scanning. It'll say this machine is card only, and you got to click yes or no, okay? So they're phasing out cash, and then moving towards cards, debit cards, and mobile transactions. Okay. So it says businesses and even entire countries like Sweden, like I mentioned, have also jumped on the movement, disrupting the hard currency that's underpinned the modern economy. Right. The modern economy is not dealing with hard currency. Okay. And the reason why you'll see reports of cash is because of quantitative easing. They're putting more dollar bills out there, which is lowering the value of the actual dollar bill. Where this, like countries, it's the reason why countries like Iran, China, and Russia are ditching the dollar, because their currency is becoming more worth, has more value than the actual dollar bill. Okay, I met this guy from Germany the other week, and he said the euro, okay, is worth more than the dollar bill. I believe he said $1 bill is like 1.2 euros or something like that. Okay, so the euros value more as opposed to 20, 30 years ago, because this dollar bill is being phased out. Cash itself is being phased out. Okay. All right. Now I'm in this article. It says non-cash transactions are forecast to grow by a compounded annualized growth rate of 12.7% through 2021, according to a 2018 study produced by BNP Paribas and Capgemini. Those vast volumes put financial intermediaries in a prime position to benefit from processing those transactions, which is why you're going to see a lot more mobile payment apps and more companies dealing with digital currencies, because they're going to fill in that gap, or where we can process your digital currencies. I mean, if you go in these different convenience stores, I'm talking about even in the so-called hood, you go into a gas station and there's a Bitcoin machine in there. Jake don't use Bitcoin, okay, but they have a Bitcoin machine, all right, but they're getting you used to having this digital currency around, because that's what they're moving towards. And eventually it's going to move towards making the actual microchip implant mandatory, okay? And that's where your buying and selling is going to take place, okay? Right now it says the banking sector has already digitized, okay? The banking sector has already digitized, Moynihan said on Wednesday. The business has moved digitally, and it will continue to move that way. It's just figuring out how to add the value, because the governments are going to take a part in this, and that's going to be he calls it all, both small and great, free and poor, rich and born, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. All right, quoting Revelation 13 and 16. So that's what we're moving towards, the cashless society. All right, and that's basically the point. All right. So the truth is out there. Okay. The mark of the beast is the microchip implant, and the instrument, the system for it to be used for buying and selling according to Bible prophecy is already being set up. All right. So this has been GMS, Great Millstone News and Prophecy. And give all praise, glory, and honors to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And don't take the microchip. All right. Shalom.